Thank you, David. So we just got sexy. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to Shameless Explorations, Conversations with Coaches. Today, my good friend David Ellis is joining us. And David, I'm so excited to have you just to hang out with me. um, and would you like to introduce yourself, or can I say words first?
Sure, you can go ahead.
Okay, great. So, David, what I would love everybody to know about David is that he's got a genius brain and he learns so many things. And the contribution that he's been to me so far in all of these areas, David started as yoga teacher, trainer, and he has a whole list of things that he's done and has learned and does still, that it's like it would be overwhelming. But some of the things that I definitely know about him is that he teaches yoga teachers and certifies them. He's an NLP coach, a life coach. Um, uh, he's a businessman. Like, okay, so above everything else, David is a businessman. He knows ins and outs of business, and even when you fuck it up, he knows how to fix it. So he has so much to offer in all of these areas, and where he's been supporting me is in friendship and in my business, where he just created that great graphic, and he creates websites and supports people to up-level their business in many ways, in online presence. So today he's going to share a little bit about all of that. And David, can you say more about yourself to everybody?
Okay, so I'm not quite sure where to start with that. First of all, let me say it's really cool to hang out with you, Holly. It's been a while, but we're here right now, so we're going to have fun for this hour. So my background, my academic background is in business and law. I did my MBA in England. What I am going to do, hopefully with this hour, is give coaches and small business people sort of how-to guide to get things done without paying people exorbitant amounts of money. Yeah, because half of getting a business up and running is the startup cost. And what I want to do is give you guys some shortcuts, and I won't charge you $25,000 for a mastermind, for instance, to tell you how to get stuff done. Apart from that, I do run businesses, and I'm involved with a number of projects, which we will get into. One of them is management consulting. And whenever I say that word, people associate that with a lot of money. But no, the management consulting that I do is really for small and middle businesses, because people miss the how-to parts of getting stuff done. And so what I want to do with this hour is give you as much information as possible to help as many of your viewers as possible get some idea of how to get stuff done, get shit done quickly.
Thank you. Yeah, so David has some like ins and outs of the coaching world and how we get stumped in getting ourselves out there. So, because he has a lot of experience with me being stumped. Even though, okay, so once upon a time, I was in the military and I did electronics repair for intelligence systems. And at the end of that career, I was teaching networking for, I don't know. I was just teaching network. I forgot the system I was teaching. But after like 10 years of being a stay-at-home mom and just giving up on all of that technology, somehow it etch-a-sketched, and I don't know, I'm like, I become mentally retarded when it comes to tech. Like, if you've seen these, you've seen my struggles with the beginning of trying to get Zoom to work on Facebook Live, or David, I don't know how to make a website. How many times have you heard that one?
Well, Holly, I'm here to wake up that brain of yours. So I know there's like a genius inside there. I've seen
Yeah.
it. So first of all, let me get you out of the echo chamber, and I'm going to plug in a pair of headphones for all you coaches out there who do webinars. Headphones. Without you, Holly, you have it already. You have your blue snowball, remember?
Yes. Okay,
Okay,
good.
so
Oh, he just
uh,
said I have my blue snowball, right, guys? I've had this for a year and a half, and I just couldn't make it work with my computer. But it I did the thing that he told me. Go to system, turn on sound, click on the blue snowball for the output, right? Input. And then so I did that before and the light is red. So I was like, it must not be working. So I have never used my blue snowball because I was wanting the light to turn green or blue. Okay. I'm just sharing some things that like mistakes that I've made because what?
okay, so yeah, universally green or blue means go or go ahead, and red means stop. So yeah, that's a problem with blue. They should have really thought about that. They should have just made the light green. But anyway, it does work with the light red. Sometimes red does mean go. Um, Most people think that red means stop.
Okay,
But
that
anyway,
was
we're gonna
just a
get,
silly thing that happened with my brain.
and that's fine. So Holly, where would you like to start?
Well, okay. So when we are creating our online presence or
Mhm.
just creating presence and getting ourselves out there, um, I know that a lot of us get stumped in a website. I know that right now you have created, that's where I want to start with what the all of these things because I know that you have ways to get us out there, but also you have like a support system
Mhm.
in getting us out there. So Onexa, is that how I say it?
Yes, or one Exa, you could do that as well.
Yeah. Can you share some about Onexa and or Onexa and show us?
Okay, all right. So Onyxa is a management consulting company that doesn't charge exorbitant, extortionate rates. And there's a problem that we have right now. A lot of coaches, a lot of business people, when they want to get out there, they think that they have to throw money at things. Okay? So, as a coach myself, what I usually try to tell people that throwing the brain at things can save you the money. Okay? Because what happens is that you pretty much pay for what you don't know. Okay? So, a lot of coaches, it doesn't matter what coaching system you're in. I mean, I've been part of a lot of coaching communities. I've gone to the events and stuff. And over the last year or so, I've met a lot of coaches. And the problem that they're having is that they think they need to spend $3,000 on a website. They think that they have to spend another $10,000 going to business coaching, another $25,000 going to business coaching. And probably what you just need to do is just start, okay? Because you're going to make mistakes in business, and no business coach on this earth will stop that from happening. You learn by making mistakes, okay? You're going to trip and fall. So what Onexa is basically a management consulting company for these people who are trying to get out there, who don't actually know the how-tos. So there are two routes you could take with Onexa, and let me try to get a idea in the website. I'm going to just try to, I have 1,000 tabs open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Chrome. Let's get a new tab, new window. And there we go. And I shall now share my screen with you. Zoom is wonderful.
I love Zoom, David. If I didn't have Zoom, I wouldn't be able to ever chat with you.
Yeah, this is true. So this is on Excel, and it's called a no effort business fix because that's the problem with people have. A no effort business fix. The reason why I created this website is because I want to show people what the possibilities are for websites in the first place. So we have a services tab, you have your packages and stuff like that. So you could go through that tab when we're actually launching the site in a couple of days, right? This little guy out here that you see here, when I click him, is a virtual assistant. It's like your little AI embedded in your website, okay? Everything that is on the site is a product of what is possible, okay? So a lot of coaches lose business through attrition. Attrition is like people come, they try to get in touch with you, and they can't get in touch with you. They can't make an appointment. Okay? Okay. What if you had, and you can't hire people? What if you had a little artificial intelligence guy who took their requests, answered them like a human would, and booked your appointments for you? You wouldn't lose clients. Okay? So I put a whole bunch of tech on this site specifically because I wanted to show people what is possible. So that's the Onexa. So we have like packages for people. The other issue that I've found with a lot of coaches, they have no idea about the legalities of running a business. Okay? And it's not, let me just share the screen because this is important. And the legalities of running a business are difficult. Nobody likes to read law. Law is boring. I know. Okay, I've done law and it's boring and nobody likes that stuff. But it is important to you because it determines whether or not you get sued as a coach, how to avoid that, what are the risk management procedures that you need to put in place. Okay, so any coaching community would probably teach people how to do an intake form. But on the intake form, there should be a liability release or waiver that protects the coach from being sued. So as an example, Holly, okay, I may have PTSD and I'm speaking to you and you say something to me like, you're worthless. Well, not that you would, not that any coach would, just putting that out there, but something might slip out, you know, it might trigger me, right? I may suffer mental damage as a result of it and take you to court. Did you make me sign a liability waiver or did you not? And there are different ways of organizing. Yeah. Right. You need to be with me, Holly. Right. We're very real with each other. So, did you sign a liability waiver or did you not? And what kind of protections are in your liability waiver? Is there a mandatory clause that says you have to go to mediation first? These are the things that coaches tend to overlook when they're starting their business. I want you to understand that when you are starting a business, every little aspect of the business on startup is important. How you register your business is important. Are you registering as a sole proprietor? Are you registering as an S Corp or a C Corp? Are you registering as a partnership? Yeah, I know. You see that look on your face, that overwhelmed look that's on your face right now. A lot of coaches have that overwhelmed. So when people ask me about this stuff, this stuff is important, and I'll tell you why. Because I assume that when you're a coach, you want to make money. You like helping people, but you also want to make money. And depending on how you register your business, it will depend on how you get taxed, which will affect your net income. Okay? So that's why it's important. Now, all of this stuff is overwhelming, and really and truly, you should have somebody do that for you. Except you can't go to one of the big four companies like Ernst and Young and so on. They're going to charge you an arm, a leg, a thigh, an eyebrow, right? They're going to charge you a bunch of stuff, and there are a lot of hidden fees. So I created Onexa specifically because people actually do need the help. All right. And if they keep going to consultants, if you go to a legal consultant, you go to a business consultant and so on, by the time you're finished, you don't have money to start up anything. Okay? So Alexa has predefined packages that you could come into. We will advise you how to set up your business. We will create the website for you, right? Depending on what website you need. Like right now, I know Holly Lotus needs a membership website if you're going to be doing this wonderful show of yours, right? So there is that. There are other aspects to Alexa, like if you wanted artificial intelligence, we do that as well. What I'm trying to do is keep the prices as the lowest in the industry. And when I say the lowest, I mean by actually looking around, because I know what some of this stuff is worth, and I know the time that it takes to put it in. You will be surprised that you go to a legal consultant, he spends 7 minutes of work, but you're going to be paying him $5,000. And I know exactly how much it costs because I've actually been in corporate before, right? So I know the time that it takes and I know how much it costs. And a lot of people don't know that, right? So you have to ask yourself whether you really want to run from consultant to consultant. The other aspect of Alexa is the digital media marketing aspect. Now, a lot of people have no clue. We're going to get into that today, how to market themselves online at all. So I have seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff because I've been part of the coaching community a lot, and they get a lot of bad advice from the people who advise them. So let's get some stuff out of the way. If somebody with a website says to you, you don't need a website, then you need to be concerned. Just generally speaking, right? The reason being, you may not think that you need a website because look, I've heard this from coaches. I'm getting clients, so I don't need a website. Getting a website determines your reach, how far you can reach. You may be getting clients in your locality, but when you are ready to step on a regional scale or an international scale, you're going to need one. Okay? If you are in Arizona and you have people in your community that come to you, when you are ready to step up on the regional scale, the whole country, the whole US, somebody from New York is not going to go just by, oh, there's a woman named Holly Lotus in Arizona. It just doesn't work. So you have to always be thinking in terms of the big picture, not necessarily the small picture. Okay. Now, we also have to get into the whole aspect of I don't even know where to start now. So you want to start with digital marketing first?
Sure. So
Okay.
a lot of us in the blueprint community, I know we're taught to just start with a speaking gig. Get yourself out there. And so like this is shameless. These conversations with coaches is a speaking gig, So
Okay. When you say that, find a speaking gig, you actually need the know-hows to get the speaking gig.
yeah,
So let's just give it out right now. Okay? All right. This is not a secret or anything like that. I'm going to teach you the how-tos. If you want to create speaking gigs, you have to start small. You have to put yourself on people's radar first of all. Okay? So as an example, Holly, what is your niche right now? Do you have a niche?
yeah. I work with parents who are struggling and want hotter, sexier sex lives.
So basically, you're dealing with parents who are struggling. So let's start with the
Struggling
mother
in their
side.
relationship mostly. It's a lot of communication stuff.
Yes. So here are the things that go with parenting. You look at the pain points of parenting.
Hmm.
So the pain points of parenting would be that the mother will probably be overworked and tired.
And the dad works a lot, and there's not enough money, and there's not enough time, and they're tired.
Always market yourself on the pain points. Don't, for instance, you would not put an ad out there that says, I deal with couples who are struggling.
Right.
But I would put an ad out there that says, I deal with mothers who are tired
Hmm.
and stressed and are not um, having meaningful sex with their partners. They're losing connection.
Mhm.
Okay, because having kids are hard, and if you had triplets, whoa, right? So,
Because you're being touched all day long and you just don't want to be touched by anything else at the end of the day.
correct. And from the man's point of view, which is another issue that I do have, whenever people are dealing with parents and so on, they usually deal with the women because women buy stuff. Okay, women buy stuff, right? But you also have to concentrate on the man as well. Okay, and by concentrating on the man, his pain point would be, I'm not having enough sex.
Yes.
A lot of the
Even
time, that
so
is the
that's
problem.
even a pain point for women. I want more sex. I need more sex.
So, with regard to the man, you market it along the lines of, I am not getting enough sex. Um, and it says, are you market it according to their pain points, their pain points. Okay. So, you want to get a speaking gig. Sometimes you just have to create one, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So, given the example that we're running with, I would create a business group in my locality called Tired Mothers Anonymous. I would probably create a webinar that says Tired Mothers Anonymous, put that webinar out there. People would join the Facebook group because, yeah, I'm a tired mother. Let's see what this woman has to say. Okay? Tired Mothers Anonymous, you put yourself on the radar. There's somebody who's going to be in the Tired Mothers Anonymous who probably works for, I don't know, the Cancer Society of Arizona. Okay? So now the Cancer Society of Arizona has probably breast cancer awareness. Women who've had mastectomies.
Mhm.
Okay? And feel undesirable. Pain point.
Mhm.
Holly, would you like to come and speak to the next event on how to recover your sexuality? When a woman has had a mastectomy, do you understand where I'm going with that? That
Mhm.
is a pain point, and you have created a speaking gig by just simply starting something yourself.
Yes.
Initiation is everything in sex as well as anything else. Okay?
Mhm. Right.
So
Mhm.
that's where you start with that. Okay? But you start somewhere. Speaking gigs are not easy to come by. The other thing that you need to do is put letters out there to all the charity organizations in your area saying, hi there, I'm Holly Lotus. I do a whole bunch of stuff, right? But what it means to you is that you can have a speaker who's a coach who's qualified to teach people how to live a more fulfilling life.
Mhm.
Put the letters out there. Let me tell you something about charity organizations because I used to manage one. If somebody sends you a note saying, I would like to speak at an event, voluntarily, you are not going to forget that person.
Mhm.
And I used to manage a charity myself. So I could tell you it's very rare that you get somebody who is willing to actually donate time, whether it be an hour of their time to speak, so you remember. So a lot of coaches are saying, no, that doesn't make, they want to talk at high ticket events. Well, no, that's actually stupid because it's the charities that will remember you. A high ticket event, which you probably pay to speak at, is not going to remember you. You're just business to them. So start small, create stuff, and start the ball rolling. And you will realize that when you create stuff, it has a snowballing effect. So it rolls downhill and it picks up steam, and people begin to know that Holly, she spoke at that breast cancer thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, she has that Facebook group for tired mothers. Are you at anybody who they know who's a tired mother? Then you probably should check Holly out. That equals more business for you, which equals more money, and Holly, you're paying for lunch. Okay, so that's the that's the other part. What is the What else would you like to know in digital marketing media? Let's see. What else do we need to know? We need to know how to start with the right infrastructure. So we have social media. Let me tell you some of the horrible things that I've seen on social media. Before you take a video and post it on social media, here are the points that you need to know. Number one, do I have a cell phone here? Yes, I do. This is David's cell phone. It's not an iPhone, but it's a cell phone. Okay, it's a Samsung Note. If I am going to make a post to social media, I am not going to hold my phone like this. Do not hold your phone like this. Please don't hold your phone like this. Hold your phone like this. Please, 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 I'm begging you guys. Hold your phone like this, not like this. The reason being, when you hold your phone like this, you're in portrait mode. The phone intelligently puts you in a frame that is in portrait mode. So when you post it to social media, what it looks like on social media is that you have two big black bars on either side of you. Okay? And you're holding it in your hand and your hand is trembling because you're literally holding it in your hand for 20 minutes. Now, I am assuming a lot of y'all don't do nervous system work, so you can't keep your hand steady for a long period of time, right? But what it looks like is the shaking, and you're looking at this video and it's like all of these things create a problem for people to view the content which you're trying to do. If you don't have like a big camera setup with, you know, the DSLR and stuff like that, and we're going to get into infrastructure in a little while, please, please, please hold your phone like this. Get a stand to a clamp. They sell them on Amazon for $16.99. Okay? Hold your phone like this. Or if you can't hold your phone like this, do it on a computer. Right now, I'm speaking to you on my laptop. Okay? But we're going to get into equipment in a while. Hold it like this. And so the frame that is put to the side enables somebody, if you have a videographer or anybody who's good with Premiere Pro or iMovie, when it's put to the side, they can actually make a production out of it. Okay? Yes, you can make a production out of something that is portrait mode, but it takes too much effort and time. So when I ask somebody to send me a video, let me convert it into something, please, and I get these two black bars on the side, it means that I have to do double the amount of work that I need to do. So I'm going to just advise that first of all. Secondly, with regard to posting to social media, please know what it is that you're going to say. I have seen some posts on Facebook because I follow different coaching communities where people pick up the phone, they hold it like this, and they just talk and they ramble for 20 minutes. Okay? Then
Guilty.
no, you're not. I've never seen you ramble in my life. I've never actually seen you ramble, Ollie. So, and they ramble and they ramble and they ramble for 20 minutes and they just put it up there. Okay, so I click it, and sometimes I have this little masochistic thing, like I'm not going to get the whip out, but I'm just going to listen to this person for 20 minutes, right? Right. So I'm going to listen to this person for 20 minutes. So I'm like, whoa, okay. So when you are creating content to put on social media, which is what you're trying to do by making those videos, here is what you need. Do it like you're writing an essay. Introduction, 3 points that to be covered. Nail out the 3 points one after the other. Are you like writing, Holly? You're writing,
Oh,
aren't you?
yeah, I will. I'm telling you, I get on and I'm like, oh, I got so much to say. And those conversations I had in my head before I turn on the camera are so amazing. And then I turn on the camera and I'm like, duh.
Yeah, planning. So we used to have a phrase when I was into a lot of sports and stuff. Proper planning and preparation prevents poor performance in everything. You can take that for your erotic blueprint, erotic blueprint marketing, right? So anyway, as I was saying, um, so what you want to do with regard to creating content: introduction, 3 points to be covered. Don't make it 17 points. Make it 3 points to be covered because you want to keep the rest of the 14 points for other videos. All right, 3 points to be covered. Nail out those 3 points, flesh them out. Conclusion, recap. Okay, do that format because people's minds understand structure. But when you're rambling and you're like all over the place, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here. And yeah, there was a time way back when, and whatever. Okay. All right. So when I'm coaching people to produce content, I try to keep them streamlined as possible. And this is how you keep your post streamlined. The other issue is that you have to take into consideration the limitations of Facebook and YouTube or wherever you're posting, Vimeo, Instagram, it doesn't really matter. I will explain what I mean by that because I'm going point by point so that people could follow this. All right, so you could put a little timeline when David switched. Okay, so the limitations of Facebook. Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to say this, on Facebook have become for want of a better word, anal. Okay? So the erotic blueprint community, you can't put erotic stuff on Facebook. They're gonna get flagged. They're gonna take your stuff down. They're gonna demonetize your stuff on YouTube, right? There's actually a little section that says, is it for kids? So they're becoming quite annoying with that nonsense. Okay? It's not, social media is not free and open anymore unless you're on Telegram or something like that. Okay, they're restricting this because of this political nonsense that's going on in the US with the elections and stuff like that. So they're restricting that, they're restricting whatever, doesn't matter. So here's why a website is important. Because if you're an erotic blueprint coach, for instance, you can't put your stuff, the real stuff, on Facebook, but you can put it on a landing page, okay? You can put whatever you want on the landing page because it's owned by you. It's not owned by Zuckerberg. It's owned by you. So what I would suggest, and I have always told people, put some explanation on Facebook, redirect them to a landing page where you can talk to them like you really want to talk to them. For instance, if I say something on this broadcast which is sexual in nature, Facebook little robots are going to flag it, and it's going to be either removed or there's going to be a warning on my account. Legally speaking, you guys have trouble marketing yourselves out there because most of the judicial system, whether you're in the US or whatever else, is controlled by a bunch of conservative type people. And when I say conservative, I don't mean political conservative. I mean people who are suppressed. Okay, so Facebook like that will try to suppress your content. You don't want that. So what you want to do is be smart about it. Okay, like if I wanted to say the M word for sexuality, I would probably say self-care. Get it? To avoid my video being flagged as possibly being pornographic or whatever it is, right? I want to speak in a way that people understand what I'm saying. So if I'm conducting a workshop on self-care, I would say, see my landing page here. Well, the M word would be all over that. Okay? So, and that's why I'm actually saying the M word, right? Or the F word, for instance, right? Because the robots are not going to flag that, but they're going to flag the real word. You have to be aware of the limitations of social media. So if you received advice that all of life could, all of your business could be just done on social media, you are wrong. The person who told you that was wrong. They're living back in 19 whatever. Nowadays, this political correctness thing has gotten out of control. You can't say certain things on social media. You're going to be banned. Your account is going to be flagged, right? So create landing pages, get a website. It doesn't have to be a full-fledged website. Just a landing page will do. Direct people from social media to your landing page where you can talk as you want to talk. Okay? So that's the limitations of social media and the strategy for getting around the limitations. The other digital issue with social media that I would like to bring up is promoting stuff on social media. I've heard a lot of myths, like I don't need a business page. You need a business page if you're on Facebook. You do? Because it has elements on it where people can actually book stuff. The whole of marketing is getting people where they are. It's not about what you think. Why you like taking notes, Holly?
Yeah, I didn't put a button to book anything on my business page.
All right. So yeah, we're so gonna talk about this after the show. Right. So
I'll take my spankings.
right. So there are elements to having a business page on Facebook. You could put buttons, you could put appointment scheduling. You got to get people where they are. You need to make things easy for people. I have been, and I want to talk to you all about funnels in a while. I have been to people's business pages where they have 1,000 ways to click. You're literally trying to pay the person. That should never happen, right? So if I'm on social media, I need to be able to click once and pay you right away. If I'm on your landing page, there should be a PayPal button right on that page. Okay, I should not have to click a few hundred times. Okay, so when you are doing social media, make things accessible to people. Okay, not everybody is going to be tech savvy like you. You want to make it very accessible. So if I'm having a webinar, there's going to be a huge button right in front of your face that says, click here to sign up for the webinar. When you click that button, name, email, pay. That's it. Nothing fancy. A lot of people get caught up in design work. Oh, look at the little swirly things and the little videos and stuff like that. No, actually, name, sign up, pay. The video is for getting the interest. Okay, so now let's get back to funnel system. What is a funnel system? I'm giving this stuff out because only digital marketers know it, and you guys need to know it. And I'm not going to charge you all $25,000 for a mastermind. What I'm going to do is just give it out right now. A funnel system is exactly what it sounds like. It's a funnel system. Okay? So what it is basically you get the interest at the top. Holly is having a webinar on the M word. Put it on social media. Okay? Holly, in 2 days, puts, I'm having a webinar on the M word. And then puts a video, which is not a pornographic video. She puts a video saying, hi, I'm Holly, and I'm having this kind of webinar. It's going to be on the M word. M word. It's going to be on the M word. And what we're going to be discussing is self-care. How to, when to, right? Why you should. Okay? 3 points. Because it's a post and you're holding your phone like this. I'm just going to recap. So 3 points. And then it gauges interest. So the next time, because people are going to say, oh, Holly, nice. You know, you put a little like button, a little thumbs up button, and then you give another post after that, right? Except it's a suggested post. If anybody who is watching this broadcast, if you go scroll down on Holly's page right now, there's the little post with the fruit. Oh my God, I want to share that so badly. Right, anyway, right, there's a little post with the fruit, you know, and you know what, Holly, can I share this?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Show what I mean by that. That was an excellent post, by the way, Holly.
Thanks. It was
That
super sexy. Actually, Jaya posted it in the erotic coaches community first. That's where I found it.
okay, I'm going to look for it right now. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you what I'm talking about. Now look at this post right now. Observe, it's fruit. We know it's fruit. That's what it is. The Facebook bots are not going to pick this up as anything. But Holly is going to be having this webinar, and this is what Holly's webinar is going to be about, right? Self-care, okay? But the post tells everybody what they need to know with a little link that says, want to sign up? Click, goes to the page, and the person signs up, okay? And you have the engagement. So you move them from one set of information to another set of information to a more concentrated kind of information, and then you drop them through the funnel where they become your client. You could do it by creating an opt-in page, first of all, a landing page, second of all, a sales page, and then the person is remarkably your client, okay? The infrastructure is the next issue. Now that I've understood, you've understood what a funnel system is, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Getting people to sign up to become your client. The next issue is the infrastructure. What do you need? If you're starting off, I assume everybody has a cell phone. Just buy a clamp. Please don't hold it in your hand and turn it this way. I'm going to keep saying this because that is one of my pet peeves on social media.
David,
Right?
don't watch any of my videos that I do on Facebook that are not on Zoom. Because I hold my phone like this. Because one time I did it like this and somehow it recorded sideways and it's posted on my page as a sideways video.
You posted a question, do you have portrait lock on your phone?
I have no idea.
Okay, so in any case,
Talk about that later.
in post production, you could turn the video any way you want to. So you just get into Premiere Pro, or you get into iMovie, which is on every Mac computer, and you could turn the video sideways, upside down, anyhow you want to do so. Okay, but that's not so much of a problem as long as it fills the whole screen. Okay. So the infrastructure, what you need, you'll probably need a cell phone. Just as a matter of information, let me give you a little bit of advice on cameras. Everybody wants to be professional. Everybody runs out and buys a whole bunch of expensive equipment without actually knowing what the parameters of that equipment is. So you're familiar with your cell phone. If you know how to use it, use that thing. This cell phone has an 18 megapixel camera. Okay, so they go to a store like Best Buy and they have people rip them off. So I'm going to hurt Best Buy's business right now. Okay, the camera on your cell phone will probably be better than the cameras that you see in the store, because the camera on your cell phone is configured so that even the most non-creative person can actually take a picture. You don't need photography skills. So you go out to the store and you buy a $3,000 DSLR, and the person tells you it has 1,000,000 megapixels, okay, or whatever. They exaggerate its effects. Let me explain to you what megapixels is, okay? You don't need a lot of megapixels. It determines the size of the picture. It doesn't determine the look of the picture, okay? What determines the look of the picture is the sensor in the camera, okay? So you go and buy a high-tech 1,000 megapixel camera or whatever you're going to buy, right? You're not making a billboard. You are making a little video for yourself. Cell phone will do that easily, okay? The other things that you need to know is the lighting and the sound, okay? Now, if you're a professional like Holly Lotus there, you notice that Holly has a backdrop behind her, right? I don't know how much these cost. I know mine costs $50.
I think mine was 100 on Amazon.
Was it 100?
Something like that.
It's pretty cool. Holly Lotus has a backdrop, so she could be anywhere, put a backdrop up and stuff like that. We're gonna get into green screen. We don't need to get into that right now, okay? But she has a backdrop and she looks very professional in her Zoom broadcast. You don't need a lot of equipment. Make do with the stuff that you have. You need front-facing lighting, okay? So you need front-facing lighting, and if it's during the day, use natural daylight. Do not use LEDs or whatever else. So because what it's going to do is heat you up, okay?
And give me headaches.
Correct. So what it's going to do is heat you up. So what you want to be able to do is create a scene for the person where the person isn't distracted by anything else except you. You are in the frame of the picture, just like Holly Lotus is right now. Okay? She's in the frame. Everybody's looking at Holly and listening to Holly. So once you create that aspect and you're not walking with your camera in your hand, that's shaking, and people are more concentrating on the shaking. I've seen people try to do backdrops before. I've seen somebody hang up a bed. It looks like bed linen, and they're standing in front of it, but it's bed linen. And if you just check certain communities, you'll see what I mean. And if you're going to do a backdrop, please make sure it doesn't have creases in it. So like if you need to iron it, first of all, do that, okay? If you're on Zoom right now, there's a green screen function of Zoom that you could use. If you are a coach, here's the infrastructure you need. You need a Zoom account. I believe the pro account is $14 a month or something like that. Okay, you don't need to take the pro account. You don't need to. You need a YouTube account. It's free. Vimeo is not free that I know of. You need a YouTube account. You need a Google Drive, so you need a Gmail address, and you need a smartphone. And that is the infrastructure you really should start with. I'll repeat. Gmail account, because it's going to give you Google Photos storage. It's going to give you a G Drive account. Okay? You need a cell phone. I'm guessing everybody has it. Okay? You need some kind of way of having a backdrop, and you need a Zoom account. Get the free stuff first. Okay? Because once you have that, you can make your Facebook account and so on and start posting there. Start posting. You can get around paying large amounts of fees for things that you could do simply. So this is a Note 9, okay? The reason why I have a Note 9 as opposed to an iPhone is because of the following little secrets that we need to learn. Why choose Samsung over Apple? And this is not going to be an advertisement for Samsung. This is going to be quite short. When you make a video on iPhone, you notice it saves it as .mov, which makes it difficult for people to edit it in post. You will have to use Apple's infrastructure. Okay, so if you try to take a video that you did on your iPhone, you exported it, it's going to save it as .mov. Problematic. Now that wasn't always the case. Apple made it the case. Okay, MP4 is the industry standard for video. When this recording is ended and you click leave, Holly, Zoom saves it as MP4. Every video production software would save it as MP4. Apple decided to go proprietary and .mov. So it makes it difficult to you making a video. You have to post it from your iPhone. But if you wanted to put an intro to your video and then put an outro or credits or whatever else, then you're going to have a problem bringing it into a media player. And Apple knows this, and they do that. So that's why I chose any other carrier apart from Apple. But if you have an Apple phone, just buy a cheap Android phone with a 10 megapixel camera and use it as your phone. But make sure you get a clamp or a stand to put that on and not hold it in your hand. Okay, all right, so there is that. The other things that you need to know, I want to get into formats because people get kind of tied up with, yeah, but I don't know all this tech stuff. Let me give you a brief overview of what the tech stuff is. There are only 4 formats that well, 6. I'm going to go through picture first of all, that you need to understand and what the difference is. JPEG, you know what JPEG is? You save it as a JPEG. Mm-hmm. Means that the background is filled in. Okay? PNG. Always choose PNG. When in doubt, save as a PNG. Why? Because you're doing digital media and you want to put it on a website, you want to put it on whatever else. There are lots of differences, but I'm only going to speak about what it means to you as a coach. Save it as PNG means the background is transparent. So if you need to put it in front of something, it's not going to be like, let's say I take a picture of this broadcast right now, a screenshot. There's going to be a white background around it, right? I want to embed that white background on my website, which is green. So what is going to happen is there's going to be the picture of me, the white background around me on top of the green, which looks so bad. Oh my God. So PNG has the white background removed. So when I put it on there, you just see me on the green background. Understood? Mm-hmm. Difference between JPEG and PNG. The difference between .mov and MP4. There are lots of other file formats, there's AVI, all that kind of stuff. But when we're dealing with digital media, we're just dealing with industry standard. Okay? .mov means that the background, like PNG, is transparent. MP4 is a 4-layered video file. We're not going to get difficult. We're going to just say it as it is. MP4 is basically, this is a video file. This is how it is, like JPEG. It's filled in. You have audio, you have whatever else, it's filled in. Let me tell you what the difference is. You could take a .mov file and put it on top of an MP4 and, like, let's say I want to make a video of lettering, like CNN. When the anchor comes on and you see the little thing at the bottom that says, I don't know, Dan Rather. I'm dating myself, aren't I? And you say like Dan Rather, right at the bottom, coming there. That is a video file that's there, but it's transparent. Okay, it's just a little lettering coming across the bottom that says this is the host. That's a video file, but it's a .mov file. So you could put it on top of the MP4 and it'll be transparent. Understood?
Well, I have a question.
Go ahead.
If I just glossed over, and what the hell are you talking about? Mm-hmm. What do I need to know about that? Like, if I were to hire you to do videos for me, I need to save them in a certain way to be able to have you working with them?
No, if you were to hire me to do videos for you, and this is the difference between certain kinds of videographers. So if you were to hire me to do videos for you, I would hope that I would have software to convert MOV files into whatever other file that I need to.
Okay.
Okay. I would hope that I would do that. If the person does not have it, I'm now showing you what a MP4 file looks like. I'm about to share my screen.
Okay.
This is for a project that I'm working on. This is Universal Citizen TV. It's what's going to replace Gaia eventually, I hope, right? So I'm just going to transfer and I'll show you what I mean. This is an intro or a promo or a logo, if you want to put it that way. So let me just give you some sound and I will play that again.
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an example of what I am speaking about in terms of um, a normal video file. Okay.
So wait, I want to off track you. And I want to tell you, I want to ask you to share about the TV thing, the TV network that you created, because that's a resource. Um,
Yes. So I've realized something. People pay for advertising through their teeth, their nose, whatever. So I generally tend to think in terms of um, don't pay for advertising, become the newspaper, become the television station. Okay, don't pay for it. So a lot of people would not have the technical know-how to do to create something like that. So I've created my own television network with a partner of mine, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a Gaia-like television network for coaches, for the spiritual community, coaches, wellness community, fitness community, and so on. We've created a network that's going to be running through, streaming through social media. There's going to be a central hub for it, and so on. We've also created an online magazine to feature people's work. So if you're having stuff like that, and the advertising is not going to be extortionate, because that's the problem, the barrier that most people have. Okay. So right now, the network that one of the companies I'm on has an active viewership of about 3 million people from all over the world. If you want your stuff out there, we want to actually put it out there. And we want to put it out there at a price that's economical for you. Because I know how much it costs to advertise on, let's say, something like the Yoga Journal. Okay. I'm part of the Yoga Alliance myself. It costs a lot of money. And yeah, I would like to assist with that. So I've created a television network, and I've also created a streaming television network as well, and a online magazine and a news site, that deals with real issues and real people. The news site that I've created, which is going to launch in the next few days, the news site that I've created will not have a lot of this political, racial, horrible nonsense that every news site has. Some news can actually be good news.
yeah, David, you were just telling me, like, where is that news station that just puts on the good news? I'm like, I didn't know you created it, right?
Correct. So what I've created is an open news network where people can submit their blogs, their vlogs, the writings, the videos and stuff, and we will put it up, right? If you're a contributor, we will also advertise you, and it's not going to be extortionate advertising. We're actually scaling it down to make it less than anything that's out there right now, right? As I said to people before, don't try to advertise, become the advertising network. Okay, so that's basically what we want to do. We want to take content from people. So people who want to be a contributor on this, This is what Gaia was supposed to be at the beginning, Gaia TV. Okay. Um, but I do know that there's been a lot of issues. We actually have a couple of people from the Gaia Network who started with them, who are actually working with us right now to develop content. So that's actually been a wonderful thing. And there are lots of amazing people out there, and we want to promote you guys and not, yeah, take your firstborn as payment.
So David knows that in our coaching community, we just dish out dollars
Oh my
because
God.
we don't know shit, or we listen and people tell us we don't know shit. For me, it was like, oh, I know nothing about business. And well, last year alone, I spent about $60,000 on programs. One was a $20,000 business program, because I was just really convinced there's still stuff, of course, I don't know, right? But we hire the people and we need the help, we need the resources to learn the thing that we don't know. And then we also believe that we don't know the thing. So we're like dishing it out because somebody has better knowledge than us.
Let me tell you what the irony of this is. The irony of it is like coaching communities are disempowering people. That's the irony. So I have a coaching system, assuming, and I coach you and I say to you, you're now a coach, here's your certificate, but you don't know anything about business, so you should really come into my mastermind and pay me another set of exorbitant money. That's actually more than the actual coaching certification. So what happens is that coaching communities become like pyramid schemes, okay? Like
Right.
Amway. It's like Amway. But what people don't understand in coaching communities is that when you do that, you are not promoting yourself, you're promoting someone else. And I'll explain to you how it happens. So let's say I sign on to the mastermind and I'm promoting myself as a coach from this system. Do you understand that if I am a corporate, I'm going to tell you what actually happens because a lot of people don't know the dark side of coaching. And I've actually written a few articles on that topic, which are coming out on the website, the news website. But anyway, um, I've actually written a few articles on this topic. So the dark side of coaching is the following. Let's say I am a CEO of a company, okay? Well, actually, I am a CEO of a company, and I'm going to tell you something. If I needed business coaching, let's say my sex life wasn't that great. I'm not going to, or let's say my business coaching isn't that great. I am not going to go to hire because I'm a CEO and I want to train my employees. I am not going to hire the people under the people who created the system. I am going to go and hire the person at the top of the system to train my employees. Do you understand how that works?
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are out there, and I'm going to say this to all the coaches listening to this, and you actively, every time you put a post up promoting somebody else's system, you are not doing yourself a service. The person is going to see the label of the system that you put on, and they're going to look for the person who created it. And if the person is not too expensive, they're going to hire that person. And I want you to understand that what you will be left with is the people who can't afford to pay for the person at the top. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So when you want high ticket clients, okay, because if you're a coach and you want to do business coaching, you want to get a corporation that will bring you in to train their clientele, okay? You do not get that person if it is that you are basically a minion of somebody else. You would be the person's second choice. Okay? If I am a multi-million-dollar MNC, multinational corporation, I am going to look for the business coach who created the system of business coaches. I am not going to look for the business coach who follows the person at the top. This is some Real, real talk that I'm bringing to you guys here. When you are advertising yourself, advertise yourselves. Don't advertise the system that you come from. You are shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. So there is that. In terms of the know-hows of getting stuff done. The other thing that I've seen with regard to the pyramid scheme model of coaching, coaching systems, is that I bring you into a mastermind. I tell you what you need to do, but I don't have the infrastructure for you to get it done. Horrible. So I bring you to a mastermind. Let's say my coaching system is, I don't know, Institute of the Incredible Earlobe. Okay, you're going to coach people on how to take care of their earlobes. So I give you a certification, and you have your certificate. I said, well, you don't know anything about business, but you should really, to be successful, just so that you know, you come and you become a, come into my mastermind. The mastermind will cost you different amounts of money. Okay.
$30,000.
Let's put it 25, 30,000, $10,000, right? I could like layer my mastermind. It's all part of business, right? So you come into my mastermind and I tell you, you need a website, you need proper equipment, you need to find your niche, which is basic stuff, okay? Note that I haven't been to business school myself, okay? So whatever I tell you will be based on experience that I have had, but my experience is unique to the place where I live in. Understood? So what works for me in one place is not going to work for you out in Alaska or the Arctic or whatever else. Okay? You might market yourself as a coach in the Arctic, right? And if you say, well, visit my website, people may not know what, okay, what you're talking about there. So you need to, as a coach, think very wisely how you're spending your money. It is more cost effective for you to go to a consultant like myself who actually has the infrastructure, and I'm going to say this, to get shit done, than to pay $30,000 to someone who will tell you what you need to do to get shit done. And then you still have to spend money to go to somebody like me to get shit done.
You know what we're actually paying for in those is um, the stuck points of I can't do this.
Yes.
Yeah. So then there's a different type of
They
coaching
coach you.
involved. They coach us, right? So we're going to coaches to be coached on our business. But what we're really actually requiring if we want to start and move forward in our business as coaches is the infrastructure that puts us out there, and not more coaching to get us coaching, but the infrastructure.
You remember how you learned to ride a bike, Holly?
Mm-hmm.
You learned to ride a bike by getting on that bike, right? And your father was there, and your father says, you can do this, but your father bought the bike. Your father bought the bike. He put you on the bike. Well, not everybody's father did that, but just an analogy.
I'm
Right.
having I'm gonna imagine.
Right. So he bought the bike, he put you on the bike, and he held on to the bike until you were ready to roll on your own, correct? Your father did not invite you to a mastermind and tell you, well, little Holly, I'm going to have to charge you some money for you to understand the mechanics of working a bike. That's not how it works. Go to a consultant who is going to tell you, I have this infrastructure. I'm going to show you how to use the infrastructure. I'm going to stand by you while you're using the infrastructure. Then you are going to be pedaling by yourself. You don't need me anymore. You don't need me anymore. You can do it yourself. Okay? That's how you empower people. Okay? You
So
don't take.
I want to point that out. So there's like, you have your business world, David, you have your coaching world, like, coaching, you
Yeah.
like from being it, and you have the business from being that. And what you're
Hmm.
saying is like, when you need coaching, you go here. When you need business, you go here. And within your business, it's like coaching you, because a real coach actually doesn't want to keep the client forever.
Yes, but
You
what?
are empowering that person to be the greatest thing that they're looking for in themselves, to move on. Like, that's what I
Exactly.
think a great coach is like. Hey, what is it that you're struggling with? Let's solve that. And then you can have this greatest thing that you're looking for, instead of keeping and like keeping down below so that you keep signing. And I know that I'm not supposed to um, be on board with that and understand, because you're supposed to keep signing your clients on. But I'm the client that just keeps moving to the next thing because I don't want to keep staying here.
Yes, one of the reasons why Holly, I'm just saying this to your viewers, one of the reasons why Holly and I get along so swimmingly is because Holly does not bend the knee to anyone. We know this. Anybody who knows Holly knows this. So let's start from the beginning where this is concerned. You become more confident that you can get stuff done when somebody's standing by you actually getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
That's the analogy with the bike. If somebody's just going to tell you the mechanics of how to ride a bike, and then you have to go and try to ride that bike on your own, you're going to fall. You're going to be discouraged. You're going to give up. Okay? This is why you go to a consultant like myself or anybody else, right? Who actually has the infrastructure, who's going to say, you know what? Here I am. I'm going to get you on that bike. You're going to pedal that bike. You're going to gain the confidence to ride that bike, and you're going to ride that bike until that bike falls apart. Okay? That's why you do that. You don't, this stuff where you $25,000 on a mastermind. When I think in terms of business metrics, what $25,000 can do for a business, if you put it into infrastructure as opposed to having somebody tell you what to do, it really hurts my head, Ollie. It hurts me somewhere, okay? It really does.
Oh, but
Okay?
David, we're kind of lazy and we just want people to tell us exactly what to do.
No. If
You've
you
heard this from me so many times, like, I just need a website, I don't know how. When
Yes.
you say, here, I'm going to teach you, and I'm like, just do it.
Yes, but you can have a consultant that will just do it.
Yeah, yeah,
You can have a consultant that does do it. But if I say to you, well, Holly, come into my mastermind, my webinar, right? Now, the coaches who are marketing themselves also need to understand that your job is to empower people. Okay? So if you are creating a coaching system and you're going to have a whole bunch of coaches underneath you, and you're going to keep siphoning money off of them, okay? Then you need to check yourself, because you're not making these people independent of you. Okay? Let me tell you something. A true parent, like Holly, you're a parent, you're an Uber parent for that matter, right? You're a parent. You want your child to be better than you were. Is that correct?
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
If you are in a coaching system, the mother or father of that coaching system should want their children to be better than they are. And what's worse is that you're a mother and you give your child all the tools that are necessary to help them cope and function in the world so that eventually they become better than you are. You do not try to restrict them. You don't say you don't say stuff like, I'm buying you this bike, you're going to go out there and ride the bike, but anybody that you meet, you're going to tell them that that bike came from me. No. Empowerment means that you really get people to get up and actually be their fullest selves. And their fullest selves will outstrip you. The greatest honor that you can get is when people that you teach and learn outstrip you. Okay, this is something that I've learned, whether it be martial arts, whether I've been in institutions which teach discipline. People, your teacher, you need to outstrip the teacher. You do. You don't have to, but if the teacher is worth anything, then you will be successful, and that's the difference. Okay, so like Holly and I have been friends for a very long time. It seems like years now. What we try when Holly comes to me for anything, I say, Holly, let's get it done now. Let's just get it done now. Okay. I don't try to schedule an appointment with Holly. So let's just, you want something, let's get it done now. Because we are friends. And this is basically what we are, what I'm trying to do. So the reason why Onexa was created is because everybody wants to talk about getting stuff done. But Onexa is like a one-stop shopping for people. You get your videography done in one place, you get your website built, different kinds of website. If you're selling physical product, e-commerce site built, you get your artificial intelligence because you don't want to hire a bunch of staff. Okay, you get your Facebook logo. One of the things that we've added to the Onexa platform is the ability to post to your social media platform every day for a year. Yeah, so you don't have to do it. This is why it's called a no effort business fix, because you could either choose to be lazy or you want to do it manually. We could do that. All right, so we could actually post to your social media. A robot does that. We schedule a post a year in advance and we just send it to your social media. Okay, and it's relevant, so you don't have to do it. Okay, so it's relevant posting for like holidays and stuff like that, so you don't have to do that, right? But it's advantage. The person with the greater digital advantage will win. Okay.
I want to say something. I think that one of the greatest contributions of that program that you said, the Onexa, is
Mm-hmm.
your legal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because none of us have that. And I need that. Like that legal stuff. Even having uh the contract, after you sign up, that stops people from being able to come after you when they're not happy with the work that they are putting in, but they want to blame it on the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's like priceless paperwork
Actually,
there.
actually, Holly, I was going to actually plan a business webinar to give all the information out
Hmm.
because, as I said, people pay for what they don't know. I'm going to probably be promoting that when this launch is over, but I've been just been busy.
Hmm.
Um, the legal stuff starts with, how am I going to register my business? I'm going to give the information out. I know that we're pressed on time, so it's a lot of information when it comes to business, but I'm going to give as much of it out as I possibly can. Sole proprietor means that if somebody sues you, they have access to your belongings, your house, your home, your car, your RV, right? Right. So that's social media. That's sole proprietor. Partnership, pretty much the same thing, except there's more than one person to go after. Okay. Um, let's say a company is an entity in and of itself. Okay. So the law sees the company as an entity. Like there's Holly Lotus and there's Shameless Explorations. So the company could be limited liability. So I can only sue Shameless Explorations for the assets that Shameless Explorations have. So your house is safe. Your other stuff is safe,
Mm.
right? So if Shameless Exploration has I don't know, um, a um, a desk or a chair, I can get the desk or the chair if my suit is successful. Okay. Let me explain to you some other stuff with regard to registration. You can register when you're registering a company. You could register it as a C Corp or an S Corp. Okay, there's certain rules that apply, but we don't have time for that. C Corp means C Corp, C Corporation means that you are double taxed. They're going to tax the corporation and they're going to tax you on your earnings from that corporation. Understood? So, Holly, you have shameless explorations. Shameless exploration is taxed, but the money you've gotten since shameless explorations has paid you as an employee, even though you own shameless explorations, you're going to be taxed on that as well.
Mm.
As much as possible, think S Corp. Okay? Think S Corporation. That's in the United States. In different jurisdictions, if you are in Canada, it's a little bit different, but I'm just using the United States as an example. So you need to be wary. You don't want to be double taxed. You just want the corporation taxed. Okay? There's certain rules which apply in the US, but we'll get to that. Okay? A lot of coaches make the mistake of saying, oh, I'm just going to create a charity, 501c3. No, don't do that.
Why?
Because there are limitations. Okay? Because you think you're being smart by paying yourself a stipend from the charity, but if you don't actually do charitable work, you're going to be audited and they're going to shut you down, and that's criminal liability. Okay?
And then we call you for that too.
Yeah. So anyway, that's criminal liability. So in terms of the other aspects of the legal aspects, if you're going to be doing an intake form, you're getting a client on board. If you're seeing that client in person, some coaches cross over massage therapy or other therapies with their coaching. Okay, so you need a limited liability. You need a liability form, a liability waiver. If you come to see me and you trip over my doorstep and you fall flat on your face and your cheekbone is broken, it's at you. Okay? The liability is yours for coming there. You need to make them sign these things. Okay, there are lots of legal documents. This is one of the things that Onexa really wants to stress to people. People get shafted and they don't even know from their choices. Because who is supposed to know this information? Who's going to read up all that information? When I did law, I was like, oh, Christ. I'm like, wow, the possibilities for the government, for instance, to screw you over are unlimited. The possibilities for people to screw you over are unlimited. Law is a very fickle thing. You need to be covered. Okay? So all the people that I've dealt with, whether I was in corporate or not, what I did was basically try to get them to understand that you need a liability labor. Check your risk first, the risk of your practice. I want to deal with something that a few people in the erotic blueprint coaching community have come up to me with: the legalities of promoting yourself as an erotic coach. So some of you guys can't get insurance, correct? You know why y'all can't get insurance? You want to know why you're going to have a problem? You want to know what the solution is? And I'm only going to give this to Holly Lotus because, Holly, you are the person that should be doing this. Y'all don't have a regulated association. You're not a professional organization. You need a regulated association that says, we are an association of coaches that deal with sex therapy. I didn't say erotic blueprint therapy. I said sex therapy. Okay? It is a legitimate science. And we would like to be covered because we're regulated, we have members, and we have standards and a code of conduct. So it's the professional face. When an insurer looks at an underwriter, and insurer looks at risk when it comes to insuring you as an erotic blueprint coach, he has to look at Holly Lotus. He's not looking at the association of sexual coaches. Okay? So Holly, this is something for you because really you should actually be the one to start that, and I'll tell you why. Because what you have is a cross section of skill sets. which can come under the insurance category. Okay. So somebody who's just an erotic blueprint coach probably shouldn't start that association. You need a cross section of skill sets. Okay. And the insurer assumes the risk and he calculates the risk. Okay. Because one of the things that people, the stigmas of erotic blueprint coaching is well, it's sexual. Oh my God, it's sexual, as opposed to it's counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Perception is everything when it comes to business. Okay. And if you're a group of people looking for insurance, there's not an insurer out there in the United States, especially where everything is cut through, that will not consider a bid or proposal to insure you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll come as a group, okay? If you'll come as a group, and all the insurers is thinking, all the insurers are going to be thinking of, all these people are going to be paying us premiums. Well, yes, we can insure you all, absolutely. That is the error that is being made. Okay? But please, ask me any other questions where the legal stuff is concerned.
I don't know if I have any right now. I just wanted to point out that to me is like a great reason to look at Onexa. That's all.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you for the plug.
That's all, because I'm thinking like in my mind, I'm like, whatever, website, you know how airy I am about that and how fast I move forward, because I don't even have one. Um, but when I'm thinking like, I haven't registered business as anything, I don't have liability waivers. These are things that even as a massage therapist, we're supposed to have that, right?
Mhm.
And that's not something that I've done there either. So like, I'm just blowing in the wind here, not thinking about those
Yes.
things.
Well, that's why you pay a consultant to actually think about these things for you and
Yeah.
create the forms for you and get it done. So that's basically what Onexa is. A lot of people do need that stuff because honestly, when it comes to starting a business, there's so many things to think about. You're probably not going to do it, and if you do try to do it without actually consulting somebody, you're going to make mistakes. The mistakes can be extremely costly mistakes. Okay. The problem is the people who are have the knowledge. Like if you want to go to a legal expert by himself, the people who have the knowledge are charging extortionate fees. I know lawyers that charged people $800 to create a liability release form. It's horrible. Okay, or a media release form, $800. That's horrible. That's why I went to law school, because I wanted to be at the other end of that spectrum, right?
So
As
that's like amazing about your brain. I just have to point it out. Like, oh, I don't know how this works. Oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and learn it. I'm gonna have your photographic memory, please.
So this is some of the stuff that that happens. You pay for what you don't know, okay? And if you don't have the time to do all of that stuff, you go to a consultant. The consultant will know the stuff, get it done for you. Not only that, the consultant, if he's worth anything, will teach you how to get it done yourself. And that's the coach part of me, right? I want to teach people to make me irrelevant.
Yeah.
That came out so badly. I probably need coaching or counseling for that. Did I just say that? I want to teach people how to
We'll
make
work
me
on it later.
irrelevant. Yeah, yeah. Work on that. So
I want to be
that's
irrelevant too. Some of my greatest coaches are like people that I've moved on. Like, oh my gosh, I learned this in their program, and
mhm.
now I've moved on in my life because of that. That was my greatest teacher, right? Like,
Yes.
because I surpassed that, and now I'm capable of taking on a whole new level of awareness, consciousness, understanding, knowledge, whatever it is, because that person taught me to go beyond. So that's like irrelevancy is my goal, actually.
Correct. Correct. You gain more from seeing people prosper, right, than trying to be greedy. You do. And there's a lot of greed going on out there. People want to be millionaires immediately without having to put out the work. Okay? You become a millionaire by helping people achieve their goals, and people refer more clients to you, not by trying to be extortionate with the little the set of clients that you already have. I just want to put that out there. That is a no-win strategy, and I'll explain why it doesn't work. If I have 5 clients and I keep using those 5 clients, right? And I keep saying, okay, so I have 5 clients and I'm going to keep selling them stuff, selling them stuff. There's a high possibility that I will get into a comfort curve. I'm selling stuff to those 5 clients. I have heard a lot of coaching people say, well, I'm getting clients already. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, I have enough clients already. Okay. No. You mean you have a regular set of clients? Here's what happens with the 5 clients that I'm selling stuff to. The 5 clients that I'm selling stuff to, I have to keep in mind that eventually one of these clients will die. Another one might get run over by a truck, right? Another one might move to Siberia. Now I have 2 clients. My income has decreased. What you need is continuous flow of new clients coming in and out, because the new clients and the ones that circle out speak your name, right? They herald your services, and you have a continuous flow of new clients. If your schedule gets filled up, convert your clients into webinar type situations or group counseling where you could deal with 5 clients at a time. Your unit price will decrease, but your overall net income will increase.
And your time income will increase.
Correct. And that's basically what I wanted to say with regard to that. If there is, well, Holly, you could ask whatever questions. We've covered the digital media. We've covered the legal stuff for the most part. If you guys want any information, you guys can actually contact me either through Holly or on Facebook, because this is going on Facebook. Is Holly like? Are you like
I'm
posting?
no, I'm I just gotta check my text messages real quick. No, I'm checking the Facebook Live to see if you have questions there.
Sure, no problem.
Um, oh, good. Okay, so Juliet said she's loving the info and she needed to hear this right now. Um, Upselling them constantly. Yes, this is so true. And we don't get the concrete infrastructure in the masterminds. That's truth. Yeah, we all are experiencing that. Yeah, and she agrees with me. Yeah, just do it for me. I'm a coach. I'm really good at being with people. This paperwork, this creating a website, that just takes away from me being my gift. And so, like, do that. Like, that's something absolutely for me, outsource.
Yes, you can outsource it, but usually when people are dealing with me, for instance, not only will I do the stuff for you, but I'll make sure you have the tools to do it for yourself. Once again, empowering people is everything. So if tomorrow, David, I don't like your shirt, so I'm gonna fire you, you have the tools to do it yourself. A lot of consultants and a lot of business people make people dependent on them, and they think it's a good strategy. It's not a good strategy. It really isn't.
Mhm.
Okay, it really isn't a good strategy. It's a naive and greedy strategy. I do understand that, but you want people to be totally independent in the way that they conduct their business. So if somebody, let's say I'm doing stuff for a client, it says, David, I really don't understand the stuff that you're doing. I'm like, would you like me to teach you how to do it? Let's schedule a time. Let's get it done, and I'll teach you how to do it so that you could do it for yourself, and then you could eliminate um, that bill from me. right? But usually what I do is I sell business packages, okay, to people whereby they get a whole host of things, and it's at scaled up at different levels. But I can tell you, none of my business packages cross over $10,000 to get your business up and running. That's just crazy stuff. That's just crazy stuff. Like $25,000, so I could tell you how to get your business up and running, and you haven't actually done anything yet. Crazy. It's crazy. So we're launching on X in the next couple of days. Once again, we will cover digital media aspects. We're going to cover your legal problems. We're going to also cover your staffing problems, because if you're starting off as a coach, you don't have staff. But you know what? There are artificial intelligences that can actually help you. They can post to your social media so you don't have to do it. Nice thought, isn't it? Right? You don't have to think of stuff to type. Right? You know, just we can post to your social media, and we have a video marketplace where you can actually choose a video that you would like your logo and your stuff embedded in, like the one that we saw earlier on. And we could put it in there for you. And if you're wondering what the cost is, I could pretty much tell you it ranges from between $30 to $75, and that's it, not $10,000. So for $30 to $75, you can actually get a logo embedded with a video that you can put and market yourself. We also do Facebook cover pages and video. Okay, our capabilities are actually very wide and vast. It's actually getting ridiculous. We can help you create your content in terms of publish your ebook. Okay, so I know a lot of people have problem with content creation. So let's say you want to, okay, Holly, I wanted to actually do this on a webinar, but I could do this right now. You want to create your own book, but you don't know where to start. You need to speak to me or somebody else who will not only get your content, put it into an ebook. All you have to do is just start talking, turn your phone on, record, and start talking and talking, and give me the recording. I will convert it into an ebook for you, and we will manage, if you want us to, or you want to do it yourself, it doesn't really matter, posting that ebook on Amazon and creating a ebook for you. Okay, we will manage these things. Okay, once again, I am definitely going to be keeping our prices the lowest in the industry, because I do believe that you have to give back some stuff. And I am a coach as well, so I know exactly some of the problems that coaches have faced in the past. I'm also a psychotherapist, and actually, psychotherapy is becoming a thing of the past. It is. Okay. So this is the stuff that I want to get done. But what the true value of the project that I'm doing is I'm now going to create the media for coaches, for the wellness community, for whatever. We're aiming to be the CNN of the coaching communities and so on.
Yeah.
So in a massive network that we are creating right now, including streaming television. So that's basically what we want to do. It's not what we want to do. This is what will happen. I'm being a coach to myself. It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And the time is going to be before, certainly before the end of September. So that's what's happening.
Great.
Any more questions?
Well, my one question is, I know that those sites are not live in this moment, but when they are live, will you post the links in the group under this video? Because this video will stay in the group, so that people can, like, when they're watching this, they're like, where do I go for this? They can find it later.
Yes, and what Holly and I are doing is we're going to be taking those recordings of coaching, and they're going to be actually a show on our Universal Citizen TV. All right. So Holly is going to be hosting a show as well. I think Holly and I were talking about co-moderating a show together. So, and we're going to be doing call-in shows and stuff like that. And we are actually really, excited about that. I know I am excited about it.
Yeah.
It's about high time somebody actually um, got out there and did something positive for the coaching community that doesn't involve people spending ridiculous sums of money.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's where I'm coming from.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Holly.
I love you. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing your time with me. I know you're like crazy busy all the time. And
What? Spend time with Holly Lotus? Of course, I'm gonna take the time.
thank you. So thanks for coming on and thanks for sharing all of this with us. I'm excited to have business paperwork done. and and just
It
excited
won't take time, Holly. It won't take time.
I know. Just excited to share this with the community so that everybody can like have this option of another way to get your business out there
Mhm.
that is not like you figuring it all out and focusing on the business when the business is not what you want to be focusing on. You want to be focusing on your clients. So um, thank you. That's a great gift. And I am happy that you came on today.
Thank you, Holly. Thanks for having me.
Mhm.